All right. This is ScareTalk. Happy Halloween. I'm Danny, and I'm here with Candy Corn Katrina.
Nice. I like that. I do like candy corn.
You do?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I don't like it.
I know.
I don't think a lot of people
Most
do.
people don't. But people don't realize candy corn is an essential part of making Butterfingers.
Yes. Yeah, you have made those in the past. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay. Yeah. Fun fact. So, it's Halloween. So, we thought we would talk about Halloween a little bit. It's been a couple of years since Halloween Ends came out.
Yeah.
I can't believe it's already been 2 years since that movie came out.
Yeah.
And that was the last time we talked about Halloween.
It's making me yawn already.
The last time we talked about the Halloween franchise was then. We had a few episodes. If you go back to 2020, me and Joel talked about all the other Halloween films. We reviewed them all. You were on a couple of episodes. Okay. Not all of them. I think most of them you weren't on.
Yeah. Okay.
But it was all audio. This was, early ScareTalk stuff. So we went through all of them. We ranked them. We talked about timelines, all that in the past. So if you want to go back and you can check those out.
I feel like Halloween is one of those movies that kind of got you into really being like, okay, I need to start talking about these horror movies more. And
the Halloween for sure.
Yeah.
I'd always liked it, but I really dove into it once I actually went through the whole series.
Yeah. Well, even right when you first saw, because you hadn't seen the original. I don't know if you had you seen it ever before we were together?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, because when you saw
I'd seen it as a kid, not as an adult.
Okay, so the first time you saw it as an adult,
I was definitely
older. much later in your life because we were together.
Yeah,
and it was like you had seen it for the first time, and you were blown away. Like
I really learned to appreciate it.
Yeah, it was the first time that I feel like from then on, you really look at, okay, how does this movie make me feel? Like, what's the scenery like? What's the ambiance? What's the score like? Like, all of it was so important to you.
Yeah.
And it's, guys, it's been something else ever since.
Yeah, it was when this one came out, 2018's Halloween.
This one?
This mask is the 2018 mask.
This is the 2018 mask. Oh, okay.
So when that was announced and a trailer came out, then because I had always been excited about Halloween movies.
Yeah.
Like the Rob Zombie ones, I loved. Halloween H2O, I loved as a kid. And so
H2O's the one where she's the principal.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And so
this is gonna be fun going through all of them.
So when the new one was announced and Jamie Lee Curtis was in it, and it was like back to the original, then it was like, okay, I'm excited about Halloween again, and I had a good amount of time on my hands at that time, so I was like, I'm gonna
dive. Was when
I'm gonna dive into the franchise, and then I started like watching like Cody Leach on YouTube. He went through all of the Halloween movies and had an episode on all of them, reviewed them all. And so then I got into like the different timelines and the different characters, and it was a basic,
deep dive.
Yeah. It's a pretty basic story that they take in so many different directions with the different timelines.
And like it's like people have tried to like do their own, like, okay, well, we can go off that basic story, but let's make it into this.
Yeah, let's go that they're brother and sister. And they're not.
Yeah.
And Rob Zombie's gonna do his
cousins
version.
Or I don't know. Like,
then he's after his niece, and then
yeah.
So there's the background for ScareTalk and Halloween. And so now we want to just have a general discussion about Halloween. We're going to talk about the timelines if we need to.
If we need to. You're talking with me.
And I want to, we never did this. And Joel, I'm sorry, but you're not on this one. And we're doing something a little bit special without you. But we're going to rate or grade the Halloween as a franchise.
Yeah.
Okay. So taking into consideration all of the movies.
And that's kind of crazy and
especially
and
with
weird
so
and different because that's the thing is they don't all follow the same storyline, like we said. So it's like, okay, so what are we rating?
Just do it.
Just rate it.
Just do it.
Just rate it as, how do you feel about everyone trying to take a little piece of Halloween and Michael Myers and make it what they want?
Yeah, as a whole, like,
how does that make you
and you
feel?
And you can think of other franchises. Like, I know Scream is probably your favorite as far as a franchise. So you would rate that rather high.
And like Insidious.
Yeah. And like you like Paranormal Activity.
Mm-hmm.
And so.
And those all
are franchises.
Stick together as the same story.
Pretty much, yeah.
This is, so it's just hard to think of this as an entire franchise.
Yeah.
Because it's cut up.
Yeah. Well, you can rate them differently if you want to do that. I'm going to give an
we are going to talk about like the different parts that go together. Like these ones go together, these ones go together, these ones.
All right. So strap in. we're going to kick this off. Okay. So we've got the original from 1978.
Yeah.
Halloween. It's up here. Classic poster.
Yeah, the poster.
So, Jamie Lee Curtis is Laurie. We got Michael Myers. He kills his sister when he was a young kid.
So in that one, he does kill his sister.
His older sister.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
He kills her at the beginning. And
Laurie is not living there.
No.
Like, Laurie is...
Okay, hold on. Hold on, Laurie. We catch up. We get to know Laurie later when he's older.
Because that was when he was a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's like 15 years later, I think, when...
and we didn't ever see a baby.
No.
In that one.
No.
In Rob Zombies, we did.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So, so we catch up, or it goes 15 years later. You got Loomis, his doctor.
Oh gosh.
They're gonna like transfer him to a different facility.
Yeah.
And
there's a bus accident.
No, that's a different movie.
Oh.
Somehow all the patients got out. They're like out in the yard or whatever. And Michael breaks into the car that they're in, doesn't kill the nurse, but like pulls her out and takes the car himself and drives away.
Okay.
Loomis's car. And ends up in Haddonfield and starts killing babysitters throughout the night.
Only Laurie, babysitters.
Yes. Well, he killed...
Or the people hanging out with the babysitters.
Yeah. He killed multiple people. One of them
he seems to me to be more upset about naked women.
Because that's what his sister was doing.
And he doesn't like when girls are like all into their looks. He doesn't like when...
Well, it wouldn't be Laurie.
No, it wouldn't be Laurie. But Laurie was a babysitter. He doesn't like the babysitting thing. Something's wrong with him with babysitting. Maybe his sister was supposed to be babysitting him, and instead, and instead she was more concerned about her looks and brushing her hair while she's naked, and
and her boyfriend was with her,
and her boyfriend
had just done whatever before he got into the house.
Okay.
Yeah.
And So he had something against babysitters. He feels like babysitters. I'm giving you your own voice. But in my opinion, he seems to think like babysitters are not doing the right thing. So he needs to correct them.
Yeah. So
and then he also gets really upset when girls have their shirts off.
Yeah.
And like about sex or anything, like he gets really upset. He really lashes out.
Yeah. So so he's going around killing babysitters and their boyfriends. In the first one, Lori and the two kids, one of them she was babysitting, the other one her friend was babysitting, but ends up basically passing off to Lori so she can be with her boyfriend.
Yeah. And so I guess the thing is Lori helped out with this other crappy babysitter, and so I guess that's why she is on the cutting board too. Chopping board. What is it?
Chopping block.
Chopping block. Cutting board. Chopping block.
So, and she just happened to be across the street too. Yeah, it wasn't like he was going door to door
right away.
Yeah, he was kind of fascinated with Tommy, who she was babysitting. He was like kind
of
following
Tommy
him.
reminded him of himself.
Yeah, maybe.
I feel like he could.
Yeah,
I could see that.
So Lori
and Tommy was fascinated with the boogeyman.
Yes, he was seeing him outside across the street. He was like, "Oh, it's the boogeyman!
Yeah,
it's the boogeyman!"
You're always sneaking around.
And the kids at school were saying the boogeyman's gonna get you and teasing him about that. Which comes in Halloween Kills. The Lonnie, who was one of the kids that was messing with him on that day, is in Halloween Kills, which I thought was pretty cool.
Wasn't Tommy in it too?
Yeah. So anyways, that's way ahead in the timeline. So we've got Lori. She survives.
But it's the same timeline.
Yes, it is the same timeline. Lori survives. The two kids survive. Loomis shoots Michael a bunch of times. He falls off the balcony. And then at the end of the movie, Loomis looks back and he's not there anymore. And then we get Halloween 2.
Where'd he shoot him?
Like in the chest, I think.
Huh.
I don't know. I don't think it really shows.
Yeah.
Exactly where he gets shot. Halloween 2. Honestly, one of my least favorite of the franchise, even though it's the same night and is a lot of the same stuff. You catch up with him. I think the beginning of that is my favorite because he's kind of lurking around the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Trying to not be seen. And he learns that Lori went to the hospital.
Oh.
So the movie is mostly him in the hospital killing off nurses and stuff on his way to find Lori. Okay.
I don't feel like we watch that one very often.
Yeah, I don't really.
Least favorite of yours.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just kind of boring, I think, a little bit. And so because Lori is hardly doing anything, she's just in the hospital in bed pretty much the whole time, and he's just killing off meaningless characters.
So isn't that the one like right after 2018? Or no, Halloween Kills. That's like Halloween Kills.
Kind of.
Oh, that hospital.
Yeah, it's kind of similar to that. Yeah. So and this is the one where we discover that Michael is Lori's brother.
So they are the ones who started that?
Halloween 2. Yes, from 1981
So that's
something.
Like okay, and the writers are the same as the first one?
No.
Oh.
Yeah. John Carpenter and Deborah Hill did the first one.
So John Carpenter probably like never had any intention of making Lori.
I don't think so. I think that he has said that he didn't like that angle.
I agree with you, John.
Let me double check.
Okay.
That he was not a part of the writing, because I know he was part
I was
of
really hoping
Halloween 2.
Okay. I was really hoping that
check.
wasn't part of this whole franchise part.
No, he did write it.
Oh,
yeah. He wrote it, but he didn't direct it. But he either regrets putting that in there, or he was directed to put that in there to add something to the story, to give a reason for Michael wanting to kill Laurie.
It doesn't. Why?
Because he killed his sister, and when he was little, so it's like now
but
he's
why
trying
do
to.
we need to have a reason?
Yeah,
he didn't have a reason to kill his sister except for what I just told you, and we can interpret our own reasons.
Yeah,
we don't need that. It makes it too murky and too about Laurie and Jamie Lee Curtis. Like, no, it's not about them.
The thing is,
she's the same person. Not about her.
She never actually learns this in the movie. She's never actually told in Halloween 2 that she is related to him.
Okay, in Halloween 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we assume that is told to her at a later time.
How do we learn it?
Loomis and a nurse are discussing.
Loomis probably made this up.
He didn't even know.
Is a
lunatic. Loomis, he learned it from this nurse who had like some unopened file or something like that. And he's like, oh my gosh, I was his doctor for so many years, and how was I not, informed about this, and blah, blah, blah. So it's kind of like a one, like, couple minute moment of the movie.
And then it was ran with.
Then we continued with it. So Loomis, Michael gets shot in the eyes. That's where you see the Halloween 2 mask with the blood.
You do see that. Yeah. Halloween 2. The
lots of merchandise
for Halloween 2. Man.
So Loomis basically blows him up in the hospital.
So and sacrifices himself. Blown up.
Yeah. Okay. So Loomis is with Michael in this room. I can't remember, like, it's like gas fills up or something. Yeah. He tells Laurie to leave, and then he shoots Michael, and the whole thing blows up. So Laurie survives,
and
Loomis is blown up with him. Yeah.
So they're both invincible.
Yeah. So that's the end of Halloween 2. It was supposed to be the end of Halloween. That was supposed to be it. 1 and 2. Because then they went to Halloween 3.
Went to like some other something whole else. Story.
Yeah.
Some anthology story or something?
Well, they wanted to make the franchise an anthology in itself. So they wanted to have the Michael Myers story, and then Halloween 3 would be a different story. Yeah. And then it'd just be like something for Halloween time.
Yeah.
And they would just call it Halloween 3, 4, whatever.
Yeah.
So Halloween 3 was Season of the Witch. That's the name of the movie. And
have I ever even actually seen that?
I don't think you have.
I don't think so.
It's about a mask company that wants to basically kill a bunch of children on Halloween. And how they're going to do it is by getting all these kids to buy these masks for a costume.
Are they like poisoned?
There's something, I don't know. There's something about them that I don't know.
They don't come off.
It like they literally like melt your head and like all of this goo, and yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Nice. Okay.
And so that's the plan of this company, is to get all these kids to buy these masks, and on Halloween night they're all gonna die. And so the story is about this guy who.
So the kids don't ever try the masks on before.
Oh, they put them on. It's just it's like only at the Halloween night will it actually affect them.
Oh,
Yeah.
so it's like a time.
It's like a timed thing.
Oh.
Yeah. So
like, this is advanced technology.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's
For
some
what,
pretty
1980 something?
Yeah, 80 something. There's some pretty poor CGI in it.
Okay.
Not like with the masks and stuff, just other things
I feel
that
like
happen.
maybe this will be one of our Halloween movies.
It's good. Yeah, it's fun. It's a fun one. It was hated when it came out because everybody wanted Michael Myers.
It was
So,
like, you can't start that strong with Michael.
Yeah.
And do 1 and 2 about Michael.
Yeah.
And then
to call it Halloween.
And to sit here and throw in there that it's his sister and so that's making it seem like there's like more to do.
Yeah. So
that was probably the worst decision that Halloween ever did.
Okay. So that's what that movie is.
Okay.
It's pretty interesting. A guy is trying to like discover what their plot is and why. And then there's this commercial. It's like a countdown for 10 more days till Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. And the kids like watch it and it's like they get hypnotized. So they really want to get these masks.
They really have to get them.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it's an interesting movie.
Do the eyes like twirl and stuff?
I think there's like a pumpkin.
Of course.
Yeah, if I'm remembering it right. But the masks are pretty cool. It's like a skeleton mask and a pumpkin mask and a witch mask. There's 3 of them.
Which one would you have gotten?
Probably the skeleton one. Yeah. They have them at the cave, by the way.
Okay.
So
don't try it on.
Yeah. So then we get to Halloween 4. Halloween 3 was a huge disaster.
Yeah.
So then
I kind of like that idea though.
Yeah.
Of having just like a new Halloween movie and to be called Halloween.
Yeah.
I like what they were planning.
I do too.
That.
I do too. I think if it happened today, it might work out better because I think there would be enough information out there for people to understand what's happening.
Yeah.
Where back then, I think people were blindsided by what the heck is this Halloween 3? This is not Halloween.
Yeah.
And something that's weird about that movie too is there's a scene in a bar and Halloween, the original, is playing at the bar in the movie. So it's like, okay, in this world, the other movies are movies.
Is a movie, yeah.
So you can't connect those at all. So even if you tried to somehow put Halloween 3 in Michael Myers' world, you can't because
and that's fine though. Yeah. I mean, I think that's kind of creative.
Yeah,
it's like
but it
maybe that means Michael Myers was just a movie the whole time,
even in his own world.
Mm-hmm. Like Scream.
Yeah, stab and scream.
Yeah.
Okay, so then we get to Halloween 4, which is years later. Everybody wanted Michael back, so they brought him back. Yeah. Halloween 4 is the return of Michael Myers. That's the name of it.
Okay.
Like subtitle.
Okay.
So now he's after his niece, which is Laurie's daughter, Jamie.
That's Laurie's daughter?
Yes. She's a little girl. She's like
I don't even remember Laurie
7 or 8
being in that movie.
She's not. So
so her daughter's just wandering around without her.
Her daughter was
she's young.
She was fostered or like adopted.
Oh.
Yeah.
So because Laurie went crazy?
Because Laurie died in a car accident.
Oh gosh. And then we forget about that
also
later.
Known as Jamie Lee Curtis didn't want to do another Halloween movie. So they decided to write her out of the script by just saying, I don't even remember how it's discussed, but Jamie's just there and she's having dreams.
Oh, of course her name is Jamie.
Yeah. She's having dreams about Michael, but she doesn't know why.
Yes, I remember all that.
So we learn that she's his niece. Michael is again being transferred somewhere. And I guess I think he had been in a
always
coma.
Being transferred.
Yeah. I think he had been in a coma for like the whole time in between the movies, because he's still like in.
Well, yeah, he was blown up.
Yeah. So he was like in a hospital bed, all wrapped up, so you couldn't even see his face or anything. Yeah. It's just a wrapping, which they have masks of that too, which is pretty cool.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. Okay.
So he doesn't even have his mask.
Yeah.
At this time.
Yeah. But Loomis is just dandy.
Loomis, he has some scars, and he has a limp.
A limp. Wow.
So
being blown up.
Yes.
He has
a cane
scars
now.
and a limp.
Yeah. So Loomis learns about the transfer.
Of course.
Michael. And then of course the like van or whatever is found. Well, we see Michael attack everybody on the van.
Okay.
And the van like crashes into some like pond or something.
Yeah.
And Loomis learns of this happening and is like, oh my gosh, he's going back to Haddonfield. And you know,
oh, he's freaking out.
So he's trying to.
Loomis is always freaking out.
Yeah, he's trying to get there to, you know, help the city, the town, because he knows Michael is back to Haddonfield to wreak havoc.
You know, I kind of wonder how things would have gone for Michael had Loomis just been on his side instead of always like being just like he's evil.
Well, he tried to reach him
in his eyes. I know, but
he tried to
how
reach him.
How long did he really try to reach him?
He says for the whole time, 15 years or whatever.
But he doesn't even seem like he knows how to connect with a child.
Yeah,
I mean, look at how he is with Jamie.
Halloween 5. He has a hard time.
Yeah, and it's like Michael was a child, then maybe he needed an actual child therapist, a child psychologist, instead of some just wacko therapist.
So
how would have things have turned out for him?
I know. Poor guy.
I know.
So Halloween 4, so he's trying to hunt Jamie in this one. So we're assuming he's going through his bloodline, right? Now that's like the story. He's trying to kill any remaining family member. Yeah. And I just don't know that was his intention. Well,
I think he was upset with his sister because his sister wasn't watching him like she was supposed to.
Yeah.
And he probably wanted to go out trick-or-treating.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was all dressed up.
Yeah.
Ready to go.
His clown costume.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then she's up there sleeping with her brother. He's waiting around.
Sleeping with her brother?
Oopsies. Sleeping with her boyfriend.
Yeah.
And she's waiting around and he's like, what the heck? He goes to look. What is sis doing?
Yeah.
She's just brushing her hair naked. I'm done with her.
She deserves to die.
Yeah.
So, all right. So now.
Anyway, I don't think his intention was to just like off his whole family.
Well, that's what we're going with.
Wait, who wrote this one?
This is new team. Whole new directing team, new writers.
But it's still, I feel like it's still part of the same storyline.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this goes with 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's the Laurie is a part of the storyline.
1, 2, 4, 5 all go together.
Yeah, and 6.
And 6. We haven't gotten to 6. No. I mean, we haven't gotten to 5, but we
so
know 5.
He's looking for Jamie. The way it ends is he gets shot 1,000,000 times and falls into this like pit.
Yes.
And yeah, that's pretty much how I remember
the pit. Yeah. Okay.
So Jamie and her adopted sister, I guess, or I can't remember if they're blood related or not. I don't think they are, but she was a good babysitter.
No, they were not blood related.
I was forgetting what that was, but I guess they're just adopted to sisters. And so she was a good babysitter. She was taking care of Jamie.
Mm-hmm.
Even though she was going to have a date with her like new boyfriend and everything. And so she survives.
Friend loved her too. Loved Jamie.
Yeah. So she survived with Jamie in that one. Then at the very end, this is where a lot of people loved this movie.
Yeah. And yeah, we'll go.
So Michael's presumed dead. And then at the end, Jamie is, well, we don't know who it is. We're just seeing the first person point of view.
Best shots in probably all of the Halloween movies.
This shot?
Yeah. When it's just her
point of view.
Watching
just like Michael in the first one.
Yeah.
So it's like just her eye view, and it's her mom, her adopted mom, and then we just hear like, "Ah, Jamie!" And it's like she's getting killed,
and that's when we learn it was Jamie.
And then Jamie is at the top of the stairs with the knife, and Loomis is like pulls his gun out. It's like gonna kill her, and so that's how it ends. It's like, oh great, Michael's dead, now Jamie is like the new Michael, right? And that's just the end of it. And so pretty cool ending.
Yeah, really cool ending.
Then we get to 5, which is most people's bottom of the list. Maybe not the bottom, like not their least favorite, but one of their least. Jamie is not a killer anymore.
No.
She's in like a child care facility. She's mute now. She doesn't talk. But she has some sort of connection with Michael.
She still has that connection. Yeah. Now, do you think that the writers like got some pushback on making Jamie, this sweet little girl, into a killer? Do you think they got some pushback? Do you think that they got worried about it? It seems like such a great classic ending, and like such a great like next way to take the movie.
Yeah.
They never kept Michael as a kid. Yeah. And I wonder if that was done strategically, because you don't want to see necessarily a kid be a serial killer, you know, like, but I wonder if that was one of the issues, if they like got some pushback, so then in the next one they're like, okay, we can't keep her as a killer,
right? I'm looking to see who the writers and everything are. Pretty sure it's a completely different team
in 5,
in 4 and 5.
Really?
Yeah, different team. So I think whoever did 4, they didn't have a plan. They just thought that was a cool way to end it. It would have been a cool way to just end Halloween too. It's like, okay, now it's passed on, like that's eerie, and you know, okay, and then it's over. But it was so successful. Michael came back, everybody loved it. So then they're like, okay, let's do another one. So new team, and I don't think they knew what to do.
Michael can live through anything.
Yeah. I don't think they knew what to do with Jamie and how is Michael surviving this. And so they add some weird stuff. So Michael was shot 1 billion times. It falls into this pit, which leads to this like little creek river thing. Oh gosh, so he just floats down this river, and then is found by some like homeless guy who lives in the, by the river or whatever.
So this sounds like Halloween Ends.
Yeah, kind of.
Okay, so I didn't connect the like kind of nod to Halloween Ends. To Halloween 5 in Halloween.
Yeah, because Halloween Ends, he's like in the sewer.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so
found by Corey.
Yeah. And so then
Who rehabs him back.
The homeless guy, like, he's sleeping at his like shack house thing for a year, you know, while he's getting ready.
Michael's sleeping at the homeless guy's house
place while he's, you know, getting ready for the next Halloween.
Yeah, he doesn't want to
so
reveal himself any sooner.
He's been sleeping there for a year. I don't know if he was like nursed back to health.
Yeah, they should have shown like some like Rocky training kind of scenes where he's like doing sit-ups and doing some punching and
stabbing.
Yeah, his is stabbing instead.
So he's laying there. It's Halloween. He gets up. His mask is just like hanging on the wall. So he gets up, grabs his mask, kills the dude who's been helping him the whole time.
Come on, Michael.
And then he's back on the hunt for
there was
Jamie.
No reason for him to have to kill him.
Yeah. Well, he didn't want any. I don't know. So he's back on the hunt for Jamie. She's at this children's hospital place. Yeah. She can't talk. Loomis is trying to, Loomis is convinced that Michael isn't dead.
Yeah.
And he's correct. And so he's like trying to get out of Jamie all the information because he feels like she knows things and she's seeing things, but she won't talk, and so he's really frustrated.
Yeah. Oh, so
and
frustrated.
He gets like in her face and like shaking her and stuff.
Yeah.
And
can Michael see Jamie the same as Jamie can see Michael?
I don't know that that's ever mentioned.
Okay.
Like, it's not like he can see where she's at, and so he knows where to go.
Because that's is seeing what he's doing.
Yeah.
Doesn't she watch him like through these visions? Doesn't she see him kill the homeless guy or something?
She like sees flashes of stuff. I can't remember exactly what she sees. So he is.
But she was having that in 4 too.
She had like a dream about him in the beginning. I don't think, there might have been another time, but it wasn't like in 5. In 5, it was like way more. She was like seizing up and stuff. Like,
and she was connected to him.
Way more than what it showed in 4.
But it leads you to believe that that's what happened when she killed her mom.
Yeah, she was like taken over. And, okay, so it's a very weird story because there's, throughout the movie, there's this person that they show. They don't ever show the face of the person, but he's got like a black trench coat and like pointy like the black
vampire guy in the
pointy
basement?
Black shoes.
Yeah.
I don't know about that, but
don't you remember what I'm talking about?
Vampire guy in the basement?
Yeah, he's like laying in like a coffin or something, like in a box. Or is that him?
That's Michael.
That's Michael.
And later in the movie.
And doesn't he show his face at that moment?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Michael.
And he's like, I don't know, is very bad choice.
Yeah.
But
there's some very interesting stuff in this one.
Yeah. A lot of people don't like it. Yeah. It's clown music and stuff with the police. Yeah, it's weird. But we see this mysterious person throughout the movie, and there's no explanation as to who this person is, why they're around, and why we're seeing them. Until the end. In this one, Michael is actually captured and taken to jail. Oh. So that's a first for...
He's not killed.
Yeah. And so then the person in the black coat goes in
Into
to the
jail.
police station where Michael is. And then there's like this whole gunfight and everything. And we don't see any of that. Because we're seeing it from Jamie's point of view. She goes in after she hears all the screaming and stuff. She goes in to find all the police are dead and Michael's cell is open and he's not there.
Oh, man.
So that's the end of 5.
Okay, so these guys.
So someone broke him out.
Him.
Yeah. So then we have Halloween 6. So Halloween 5.
I don't know if I remember Halloween 6.
I think
did I see it?
Yeah, you'll remember part of it when I talk about it. Halloween 5 is the revenge of Michael Myers.
Okay.
Halloween 6 is the curse of Michael Myers. So in this one, we get a little more complicated and weird with the story. Okay. They're trying to bring reason for Michael doing what he's doing.
I can't stand that they do that. There's no reason.
Yeah.
And sometimes
he's just
there's
evil.
Just
he's
not.
Just, and that makes it more interesting.
Was always saying.
Yeah.
Is he has darkness in his eyes.
I think at one point he says he's evil on 2 legs. Classic Loomis line.
But yeah, it's just you can't find a reason why someone is a serial killer. They just are.
Yeah.
They just are serial.
So, and the reason they go for is quite interesting. So now it's called, once we got to 5 and 6, it turned into what they're calling the Thorn trilogy, which is 4, 5, and 6.
Okay.
I'm not going to get too deep into it because that could be a whole episode. But basically, there's this cult.
Yes.
Who is basically programming Michael to kill his family. They're trying to build like a super person. Okay. And Michael is like the beginning of the experiment or whatever.
Okay.
And so he has to kill his bloodline.
So this person, like whoever wrote that part, really like Terminator or something.
Yeah, it's weird. It gets into like culty stuff and like trying to bring meaning to why he's going after his bloodline, basically. But it doesn't make a lot of sense. There's 2 different versions of the movie. I haven't seen both of them, but I know that neither of them make a lot of sense.
Okay.
As far as the cult stuff.
Okay.
So in this one, Tommy Doyle is in it.
Oh, okay.
Which is Paul Rudd. So Paul Rudd, this is one of his first movies.
But he wasn't Tommy in 2018. No. Okay.
No. And he wasn't in the original.
Yeah.
As a kid.
Yeah.
But he lives across the street from the main characters. And this is still in Haddonfield. Michael was in like this underground where this cult like does their rituals. He lived underground with them.
Okay.
And Jamie, who lived.
Tommy lived underground.
No, not Tommy. Michael lived underground with the cult where they do their rituals. I don't know. They just keep him there.
Okay.
But then they discovered that Jamie, who was still living, now an adult, was having a baby.
Oh.
And so they kidnapped her, brought her underground, and now this baby is going to be like the next
Michael
thing that they're trying to, create. But there's like a nurse down there who's like, they're going to keep your baby. You need to get out of here. So she's trying to help Jamie escape.
Okay.
And that's when Michael then is like chasing down Jamie and ends up getting out. And now he's loose in the world.
Oh my.
And the baby, I'm just gonna jump ahead. The baby ends up with Paul Rudd. With Tommy Doyle. So there's a number of events that lead to that. But he has the baby and he knows about the Thorn stuff. He's been doing all this research.
Of course.
So he knows what's going on. And Paul Rudd is super weird in the movie. His acting is very strange.
Interesting.
I don't know if he was trying to do like some character thing or what, but it's very weird the way he acts.
And this is in his new days.
He just started. Yeah. Like Clueless. He was in Clueless, right?
Oh yeah.
I want to say it was around the same time, or this might have been before Clueless.
Okay. Yeah, he was phenomenal in Clueless.
Yeah. So he's trying to protect the baby, obviously.
Yeah.
There's a couple of other characters. Bottom line, end of the movie, Michael is beaten with a pipe by Paul Rudd. And that's basically the end of that storyline. Okay. So, and he kills a bunch of people too. Michael kills a lot of people. That he kills like all of them. Michael does. Yeah.
Well, because
he's like a loose cannon at this point.
Yeah, when you said that he was living down there with them, I was gonna say they better be careful.
Yeah.
Because the last person who took him in and took care of him, man, Michael.
Yeah. So
he really doesn't like people taking care of him. He's like traumatized from not being taken care of by his sister.
Yeah.
That now when you try to care for him, he's like, no.
Yeah.
I know this.
Yeah, I can't remember.
You hurt me, so I'm gonna hurt you first.
Yeah, they end up in like a hospital again with like they're doing like experiments and stuff, and I think Michael's like had enough, and so he kills all these people on his during his mission to try to get this baby.
Yeah.
So anyways, that's the end of that storyline. Then we've got a couple of years later, Halloween H2O, which is Jamie Lee Curtis is back.
Yes.
She is Laurie Strode again, but she's alive.
So she lived through the car accident.
So that never happened. So 4, 5, and 6 don't exist in this storyline.
H2O.
Yeah.
But
she doesn't have a daughter.
Do.
Yeah. She doesn't have a daughter. Jamie doesn't exist. None of that happened in this new storyline. She has a son.
Yes.
Josh Hartnett.
Oh yeah, she's a principal.
She's the principal at the boarding school.
Yeah.
And
I didn't realize it was a boarding school.
It's like a what do they call those schools? A prep school or like a
college prep.
Yeah. So they live on campus.
They do. Okay.
Yeah. So she's been dealing with and in this they are brother and sister. So she's been dealing with knowing that his body was never found and
and she knows that it's her brother.
Yes. She somehow learned about it. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, Loomis probably told her.
Loomis blew up too. Loomis is not in this.
Oh, so Loomis is still blown up in this.
I guess.
But somehow
he's not in it.
But somehow Michael survived.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we don't know anything about where Michael has been for 20 years in this movie, and we don't get told anything. Yeah. So it starts with someplace outside of Haddonfield where this nurse lived. Michael went to her house, killed her, and found documents about Laurie and where she currently lives and works and everything.
The nurse just happened to have these documents.
I'm guessing she was a nurse for Michael. And somehow had documents about his family and whatever. the whole case,
Okay.
So anyways, he ends up discovering that she's a principal, even though she has a different name and everything. It was like witness protection or something, but somehow he was able to still find this stuff. And yeah. So he's now on his way to California. She lives in California. Yeah. So he drives like across the country.
Yeah. Where is Haddonfield?
Illinois.
Oh, okay.
So it's not all the way across the country, but it's pretty far. So he has to get there by Halloween.
Yeah.
Too, of course.
Yeah.
So it was like I think it said October 29th or something when he killed her. So he went on a little road trip.
Yeah.
Is
he flying or roading?
No, he was driving.
Oh,
he gets this car, like he has like this old car, and then at one point his car gets like a flat tire at a rest stop. And then this mother and daughter go in and to the rest stop, and she left her like purse on the ground. Okay. He grabs her purse. He doesn't kill them.
Oh, okay. That wasn't the bathroom scene.
That is in 2018 Halloween. Okay. So he grabs her purse with her keys and takes their car, which is like this really weird old truck. Oh. It looks like the Jeepers Creepers van that he drives. It's kind of like that. Weird choice of car, but anyways. So in this one,
like he could be super choosy.
Yeah, it's just weird for the movie.
Yeah.
So in this one, Lori, is really protective of her son. He's 17, so he's like, I need to be able to live my life and everything. Yeah. And so Michael shows up, so she's like, proven correct. Like, he's still out there. He's going to come after me. Michael shows up at the school, and then there's the, fight. Some people get killed, some people don't. But what's cool about this one, which is my favorite part, is Lori, like, gets her son and her son's girlfriend out to escape. And then she's like, no, I'm going back in. Mm-hmm. And she gets an axe and she goes back onto campus. The gate is closed. It's just her versus Michael. Mm-hmm. So that was pretty cool. Yeah. And she fights him. And this is like, not like Halloween Ends fight where it's like a 2-minute thing and she choke slams him on the, on the table. And
he was very weak in Halloween Ends.
Yeah. So this is a legit fight. Comes to the point where he's dead, and then she's like, he's not dead. I'm gonna steal the corner van and I'm gonna drive off into the into wherever. I'm gonna crash the van, all this. She wants to make sure he's dead. And so at the end she chops his head off.
Okay.
And she's like, and then so it's over at that point. Mm-hmm. I just watched this one and I loved it as a kid. It was one of my favorite horror movies. It came out in 1998. Mm. It had a very Scream feel to it. Mm. It was like that time, And I kind of lost interest in it over the years. But watching it recently, I'm like, yeah, I like that one. Mm. It's a good one. It's my favorite Lori, I think. I like the way that it ends. I think cutting his head off, I think that's a good way to end it. It has a lot of callbacks to other Halloween movies too, which I never really noticed. So that's how that one ends.
Okay.
Then we have Halloween Resurrection. H2O did so good that they're like, we need a new one. Bad decision.
Yeah,
it's the worst one.
Resurrect someone who had their head chopped off.
Well, you don't. What you do is you manipulate the story to where
it wasn't him.
It was a ambulance driver who Michael switched clothes with, jammed his larynx so he couldn't talk, put him in the body bag to be Michael, basically. Fake Michael. So he couldn't talk, so he couldn't say, like, I'm not Michael Myers or whatever. So that's how you're able to do that. So in Resurrection, it does like a little like flashback of what actually happened. So it's really lame how they do that.
Lori, at least I prefer an explanation in that than this whole trying to have an explanation of Lori being related to him. And
yeah,
whatever.
And the cult and everything.
Yeah.
So in this one, we've got Busta Rhymes, and we've got.
Oh, this is the one with Busta.
Yeah, and we've got. I can't think of her name. She was a talk show host, I think she was a model.
Tyra Banks?
Yes. Tyra Banks. I think so. They are like running a reality TV show. I think it's for Halloween night, I think, or it's like for an extended amount of time. I don't remember. But basically, these people on the show are going to live at Michael Myers' house.
Oh.
So it's like said to be a haunted place.
Okay. Would you do that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Like the house, like the movie?
Yeah.
Yeah. But in this world, there's not a fake place.
Well, no, I'm talking about if you were in...
yeah.
Like, if you were in this world and it
I don't know, that'd be like
haunted house, like...
That'd be like visiting Ted Bundy's house.
Well, I was thinking
staying there or something.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. She's like one of my favorite serial killers. Here in Sacramento.
I know who you're talking. I can't. Yeah, but it would be like staying there.
Yeah, staying at her house. Yeah, no way. I mean, a little different because like she buried the bodies there in her yard.
Yeah. And he only killed his sister at his house.
Yeah.
He didn't like all these other people were somewhere else.
Didn't he like go back to the house though to like get his strength back and stuff? Like
he does go back to the house, I think, a couple of times, but like he doesn't. I don't think he kills anybody in this house. No, but his house has been like abandoned.
Connects to the house.
Yeah, he there's something with his house. Dorothea Fuente. That's the killer she's talking about.
the Sacramento serial killer.
Yeah. So Michael doesn't like that people are using his home as like this entertainment place. Bet.
Yeah, because he needs to have somewhere to go and just.
So he kills all the. I don't know if he kills them all. I can't remember. But Busta Rhymes pulls out some karate on him.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And at one point,
Busta being a karate man. Yeah.
So they're setting it up. They don't actually think Michael's gonna come to the taping of this show.
Does he bust any rhymes on him or anything?
So Busta,
did he break his neck?
Busta puts on like a costume of Michael Myers, and he's gonna show up on the show to pretend to be Michael to freak out the people that are on the show.
Yeah, for reality.
Yeah. And so then the real Michael shows up. Yeah. So then it's Michael versus Michael.
Oh no.
And that's when he pulls out the karate. So he's a karate Michael.
Karate Michael.
So bad. He actually goes, "Whoa!"
Oh, of course he does. Only thing crazier would be Marlon Wayans doing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of like a scary movie thing.
Yeah.
So it's really bad. The Michael looks really bad in it. The mask is horrible. That's the other thing. H2O had like 4 different masks. One of them is CGI.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, it's really bad. We didn't even talk about the masks, but that's a different thing.
Yeah. I mean, all people want is Halloween too.
Yeah, that's the main mask for some reason. And it has like his skin. I don't know why. I think it's supposed to be like faded or something, but it looks like
skin. The mask is like super white with like these.
Oh yeah, the blood. Yeah.
And yeah.
Okay, so that's the end there. I don't even remember how it ends, honestly. I think Michael is killed.
He
somehow.
goes wah, and then
He kicks them and it's over.
He does the karate sound.
Yeah.
And then fade to black.
Yeah. So then and Lori dies in this one. She dies at like the beginning.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So now she's died.
Now she dies.
In a car accident?
No, at a mental hospital. So she ends up in a mental hospital after H2O, after she cuts his head off and everything, and discovers that wasn't him.
Oh yeah, so now she's
a murderer.
Yeah.
And
I mean, she was a murderer before, but
yeah,
now she's a murderer of the innocent.
So
of the heroes.
Yeah. So she's there and Michael finds her there. She's about to like kill him. Like he's hanging. They're like on the roof and he's like hanging from something. And she had to take his mask off to see if it was him or not.
Oh, of course.
And then he ends up grabbing her and she flies off the roof and she dies.
Oh,
and he
lives.
And that's like within the first 15 minutes of the movie.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, so she only agreed to be in like a cameo shot.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Okay.
I've heard that Jamie Lee Curtis is quite a diva.
Yeah, and she's not even a horror fan, really.
No, I heard that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't she like not even like Halloween?
Yeah, she hasn't even seen them all. But she's back again for Halloween 2018.
Yeah, so 2018 is not the same universe then.
So 2018 is the same universe as Halloween 1, and that's all.
Well, you can't be the same as 1 and not 2.
Well, she's not related to him, which is what is said in 2.
Oh, okay.
So she's just Lori, that was the babysitter.
Yes. Okay, that's why I like Halloween. What is it, 2018?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I like that. That's probably my favorite one.
Oh, wait. Forgot a couple. In between those, we have the Rob Zombie ones.
Yeah, but we don't need... We're talking about them now? Okay.
Just real quick. Rob Zombie, he directed and wrote 2 Halloween movies. One where it's basically the same thing as the original, but we get the first half is Michael as a kid.
Yeah.
And then what leads to him killing his sister.
Yeah, because he has quite the childhood.
Yeah. And we know in that one that he has a baby sister.
Explanation is better than this, it's his sister and then some cult thing. And, all these other explanations are just so...
Yeah. No explanation.
Rob Zombie did do the best, though. If you were going to have an explanation, Rob Zombie, as gruesome and like crazy as it was and as he is, he did the best job at least giving Michael a story.
Yeah. I would agree. If you're gonna have a reason, I think he did the best job.
Yeah.
And then so Lori's in there, she's a baby in the first half of the movie.
Yes.
Then we get the older Lori, and then we're basically doing the same story.
Mm-hmm.
And then Halloween 2, he completely does different.
But he cared about his baby sister.
Yes. So there's not really a clear understanding as to what his intentions were.
Yeah.
As the adult Michael.
Yeah.
Because he presents the picture to Lori.
Yeah.
And she doesn't know that they're related.
Yeah.
For the whole movie.
Yeah.
And so she's like, what is this picture? Because it's just this kid and this baby. Like, she doesn't know. She doesn't know that she was adopted or anything.
Yeah.
So it's like, was he trying to connect with her? But he's also trying to kill her at the same time.
No, but I don't think he was trying to kill her. He was trying to get her to stop and calm down, and he needed to connect with her, but he didn't know how. He had selective mutism is what I'll call it. And he he didn't know how to connect with her, and in desperation was trying to get her to stop, and it made, of course she thought he was trying to kill her because he just killed everyone else. And so then he had to, like, stop, like, and whatever he had to do.
Yeah, we'll have to watch that one again.
Yeah. I feel for him.
Yeah. He's definitely more of a sympathetic character.
Yeah, in the Rob Zombie movies, you feel for Michael. You're kind of on Michael's side.
Yeah.
And it's not Jamie Lee Curtis.
No. Those are all Rob Zombie character actors.
Yeah.
They're in a lot of his movies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Few of them.
I think the only Rob Zombie movies I've seen is the Michael Myers ones.
Probably.
And the thing is like there's certain parts of it that are just so hard to watch and that are just like, did you really need to go there? Like, the stuff that Michael went through. And I mean, I guess it's what makes you feel for him so much. But that's why I always like the Rob Zombie ones, though, is I feel like there was a lot more feeling in those movies. Yeah. But I also don't really like Jamie Lee Curtis.
And she's not in it. Mm-hmm. So in Halloween 2, he completely does his own thing. It's not at all like the original Halloween 2.
It was Rob Zombies.
Yeah. So
I don't know. Did I ever see this?
Yeah, you didn't like it.
Oh, okay.
So Laurie is like this punk rock girl now and like super emo, and she lives with her because her family was killed. She lives with her best friend and which is Annie, and her dad is the chief, and which is Annie is Jamie from Halloween 4 and 5.
Oh,
as Danielle Harris,
that's
the actress.
A cool callback.
Yeah, and the sheriff is the actor that plays Chucky.
Oh,
Brad Dourif.
Okay.
Yeah. So cool casting.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, kind of like horror fan.
Yeah. So in this one, Loomis is in this one too. He was in the original Rob Zombie version,
but not the Loomis.
Different actor. He's more Loomis-like in the first one, but in the second one, he's a completely different kind of Loomis. He has a book, and he's like this
like a real psychologist.
He's like this fame-driven guy. So he wrote a book about
writing a book. Yeah, okay, so like Cotton.
Yeah, like Cotton Weary. Yeah. So he's a completely different character, very unlikable.
Okay. I mean, is Loomis likable?
I think so. So, anyways, Michael in this one is like a savage. Like, he has long hair. His mask he only puts on when he is gonna kill somebody. He has like this huge beard. You can like see him at times.
So he's Rob Zombie.
Basically. Yeah. I think Rob Zombie might have played a couple of the shots.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's like, I feel like I'm just gonna make me Michael.
So, and then there's this whole white horse thing with his mom.
Oh my gosh, yes. Okay, I remember that.
Yeah. And
he tried to be all artistic.
Yeah, it was super artsy. I think he just wanted his wife to be in the movie again. Because she died in the original one. So he's like, I need to write you in somehow.
His wife wanted to be in the movie. Yeah. She's like,
she's in all of his movies.
You kill me off, and then you decide to do a second one? Yeah. Like, no, you need to figure this out.
She actually did a pretty good job in the first one, I thought. I thought she did a pretty good job. She wasn't in it a lot, so she didn't have too much screen time. It was only the first part of the movie. So Michael is killed by like a SWAT team in the end of Rob Zombie's Halloween 2.
Okay.
And
if you're killed
Laurie,
in the movie, in a Rob Zombie movie, you die.
Yeah, there wasn't another.
Okay.
After that.
Okay. So Rob Zombie really relates to reality.
Yes, he's a little more realistic, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to call Rob Zombie grounded, but maybe.
He tries to be. Like, the way he writes his characters and stuff. Like, I don't know what kind of people he's been around, but a lot of people don't talk.
I think I know
the way...
what kind of people he's been around.
They're always the same in all of his movies.
Yeah.
They're very white trash. I think those very are vulgar.
That's like the only type of people he knows. So, that's his world.
Yeah.
I mean, he is
what you would think.
He is Michael Myers.
Okay. So now we're going to go back to where I was. 2018, we got Laurie is back. They're not brother and sister. It's been 40 years.
This is the one where she has the like bunker in the kitchen and stuff. Yeah. I love this one.
Yeah.
I already said. I think this is my favorite.
Well, you had said Rob Zombies. That was your favorite.
And that's why you just started talking about Rob Zombie.
Yeah. Because I'm like, wait, we forgot something.
That's the thing. I don't consider... And so when we're doing the franchise grading... Are we including Rob Zombie?
I will. You can rate them separately if you want.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just never consider his in with it.
Yeah.
But okay.
Yeah. Okay. So Laurie in this one.
Have we rated them? We haven't. Huh?
We've ranked them. Yeah.
But all of us, I don't think I was a part of that because I don't think I saw 3.
You did not include that in your ranking, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
And that was at least 2 years ago.
And that was okay because Michael's not in it.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, so Laurie in this one, she has a daughter and a granddaughter.
Yes.
Doesn't have a son like she did in H2O. Yeah. Jamie is not a part of this. None of that.
Yeah.
They're not brother and sister. So in this one, Michael's been incarcerated for 40 years. And if you remember, the beginning is so cool. These podcasters go to the and then he like has the mask.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, really cool. He ends up breaking out, of course, and during a transfer, it breaks out. The bus crashes.
And, you'd think that they'd figure out to stop transferring the guy.
Well, in this one,
I guess in this,
he hadn't been transferred at all. 40
years. 4 years.
40.
Okay, 40. That's what I thought. Yeah. And then I thought you said 4.
So he is out and goes around killing people.
Oh, my. The way he gets... like his suit mask and everything and his mask back. Oh my god.
Yeah, so he finds the podcasters. Yeah. They're in the bathroom and it's like a brutal
that is
intense killing scene. He kills the
and maybe because we saw this one in theater.
Yeah.
Like I think this was the first Halloween I saw in theater.
Oh really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't watch any Halloween until I was with you, so
this was the only one that came out during that time.
Yeah,
the first one at least.
Yeah.
But yeah, that scene when he gets the mask out of the trunk and puts it on.
Oh gosh,
epic! Good mask right here.
Yeah,
it's a good one.
His hair's way softer than I expected it to be.
So.
Sorry, Michael.
So,
I don't want him getting mad.
Laurie has been prepping for 40 years.
Yes.
She's got her bunker under her kitchen counter.
I love Laurie in this one.
You do? I like her in H2O more. In this one, she's like a wild woman.
Her boyfriend in H2O, just
no.
blech.
I don't know. I think it's a little over the top.
I don't know. it like I'm gonna sound so bad, but like I don't want to see like one. He looked way older than her, the boyfriend in H2O, and then like they're like principals and like
he was the counselor, I think,
and she's the principal, and it was like not a good, not chemistry. It was just, I don't want to see that.
Anyways, I think the way that they dealt with her trauma in that one was better. Because at least they're related in that one.
So what?
It'd only been 20 years.
I don't want any relation.
40 years. And she has been
still
just
out.
prepping for 40 years. Yeah. And they're not even related.
No, they're not related.
But why does she think he's after her?
Because he
couldn't kill her.
Yeah, he never finished her off, and she's the reason he was caught. Like she's the last one.
Yeah.
Of them, and it's like she never let go of what happened to her. She was an adolescent. She was just discovering who she was. And she was already a weird kid. Like she was very monotone, weird, boring kid. And this just defined her. She already didn't know who she was.
Well, she ends up having a kid and, then prepping her. So she's like...
And her kid resented her, for sure.
Yeah.
And she was like, Jamie Lee Curtis, Lori, was like a alcoholic and everything. So, so she wasn't prepping the entire time. First, she was, she kind of went on a, getting into alcohol and who knows what else. And then she's like, okay, we need to prepare.
Well, she was, because her daughter's like, this is how I was raised.
Yeah, like, she was raised that way.
So anyways, Michael is out. He goes on like a killing spree, and his Loomis in this one, Loomis died, like the actual actor that passed away.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I think it was during the filming of Halloween 6, actually, he passed away.
Oh, wow.
Donald Pleasance.
Okay.
So he's no longer alive. So Dr. Sartain is the doctor who took over for Loomis in this movie.
At least they didn't try to make it Loomis.
Yeah. So he is like, he's in the mix, and he has this fascination with Michael. Kind of like the original Loomis. But he thinks Michael and Lori, like, there's like some connection there. There's no relation, but he thinks there's some sort of connection. So at one point, he brings Michael like to her, basically. Michael kills him and ends up at her house in the woods.
Oh.
Following her granddaughter, because her granddaughter's, seeing her friends get killed and blah, blah, blah. Ends up at the house. Lori and Michael showdown. They end up luring him down into the bunker.
Yes.
Shutting down the bunker, and basically it's like a trap for him. And the house like is on fire. She catches the house on fire and traps him under. And that's how it ends.
Yeah.
So he's burned alive.
Well, except for it was in a bunker.
Yeah.
She set the house on fire, not the
bunker. Well, the bunker was had like gas or some sort of contraption. It was like rigged.
Okay.
For the bunker to also
blow
light up. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So Halloween Kills is the next one. So we have the same night
or something.
It's the same night right away.
Yeah.
They're driving off. They're rescued. Lori, her daughter, and her granddaughter. and then they see the fire truck drive through, and they're like, no, let it burn.
Yeah.
And then we see the firefighters putting out the fire, and Michael emerges from the house and just kills all the firefighters. And pretty cool scene. So Halloween Kills takes place the same night. He basically just goes through Haddonfield, kills a lot of people. We have Laurie in the hospital.
Yeah.
She's in the hospital pretty much the whole movie.
Yeah.
The town thinks that Michael is this other dude who escaped. And he's like this small, like little hunched over guy. And he ends up at the hospital, and they're the whole like mob of Haddonfield is after him.
Almost the whole movie, I feel like, or at least everything I remember, is like the town marching with their pitchforks, like
evil dies tonight.
Yeah,
evil dies tonight.
It's like, it makes me think of like when they're all after Gaston.
The Beast, when they're all after the Beast.
Yeah, when Gaston leads them all after the Beast. And it's like, that is like the main thing I remember about this movie. That
Evil Dies Tonight is the
and then just like thing. All the talks in the hospital room with Laurie in the hospital bed, and the guy with her. Who's with her?
He's one of the. I think he's the sheriff. No, he's not the sheriff. He's just one of the cops. Because the sheriff is the dude with
to like super care about this connection with them. And, oh my gosh.
So in this one, we have Tommy Doyle is a grown adult. He's, in his 40s or something. And he's like him and Lonnie from the original. There's a flashback to the original.
Yes, I remember that.
Where they did a really good job recreating that. I wish that would have been like the whole movie. That would have been cool. Because they did a good job making it look like it was basically in the Halloween time of 1978. But anyways, so that was a cool part. But that's where we get more introduced to Lonnie and when they have the flashback.
I don't know if it's when they have the flashback, but that's when we meet like Tommy.
Yeah. Tommy and what's her and Lonnie, and then the girl. Oh gosh, I can't think of her name, but she was the other girl.
To say Nancy, but
she was the other girl that Laurie was babysitting. And Michael's going through Haddonfield, killing everybody, and then at the end, like the mob of Haddonfield takes him out, basically kills him, but at the end, he ends up killing. Michael's still alive, ends up killing Laurie's daughter at the very end.
Oh, what? I remember that now. Isn't this like a fight in the street?
Yeah, that's where he gets beat down.
Oh my god.
And you think he's dead, but then he rises up and kills everybody, and then, then he's just gone. And then we find out at the end that he's like behind her and kills Laurie's daughter.
But not her granddaughter.
No, her granddaughter was not there at that time. Then he's just gone.
But don't they kill her daughter, her like son-in-law first?
Yeah, he was killed in the 2018 one.
Oh, 2018. That was really sad when he was killed. I remember that.
Now we have Halloween Ends. So now we have Laurie just moved on with her life. She didn't move on with her life for 40 years. Before. Yeah. But now that her daughter was killed.
Her daughter died.
Just a couple years later, she's cool.
Yeah.
She's moved on.
Well, she makes no sense. A lot in that hospital bed.
But her daughter hadn't been killed yet. Then her daughter got killed. And it was
but think about all she processed in that bed. And there were a lot of conversations in that bed.
Yeah. So
they worked through.
Halloween Ends. we have Corey.
Yes.
He's a random new character. Him and
it's almost like
the granddaughter are like spark up this romantic relationship within
out
5
of
minutes.
Nowhere. Yes. And it's almost like with where how they like wanted to do this whole Corey route. It's almost like they decided, okay, we're gonna do a movie now without Michael.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh wait, remember how Halloween 3 went? People didn't like that. Oh, let's bring Michael back.
Yeah, but
and
we'll treat him like a side character.
Yeah, he'll just be really weak, and Corey's still the star.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's I think they tried to be artistic with the idea of evil. So Michael is just evil. He's not like a person.
Yeah.
So he's passing on the evil to Corey.
Yeah.
That's the idea.
Through his eyes.
Through his eyes, yeah. Corey and him like locked eyes, and then Corey became evil and took his mask super easy, and then went on a killing spree of his own, and Michael helped him at one point.
Yeah.
Corey ends up getting killed.
So don't look in these eyes.
Yeah. Corey ends up getting killed by Lori. And
I never connected that, Corey and Lori.
And Michael's not dead yet.
And so that's the thing, though.
Then they have their
why did they kill Corey?
Yeah, they should have kept him alive. So it was like all that build up, all that for Corey, and then he's just gonna die.
And then he dies. Yeah, it's like really?
So then Michael shows up and it's like, hey, I'm not dead yet. So then him and Lori get into a 2-minute fight, and she ends up killing him. And just for in case he was going to come back, they basically put him in this garbage crushing machine. And so his whole body is just like ripped apart in this garbage waste crushing thing. Machine. And that's basically the end of that one. But yeah, the idea is that Michael is just evil, and the evil can pass from person to person, and evil never dies. So,
but it did.
Well, we don't know.
I mean, it died with Corey, and it died with him, and
evil can come back.
Yeah, but who knows? I mean, like,
not in the form of Michael Myers, though.
We'll see.
So that's all of them. Now, I will rate this. So, when I think of good, great franchises, so this has like 13 movies.
Yeah.
Like something like that. 13, 14. I don't know.
You just talked about them all.
Yeah, I didn't count
them. Wait, hold on. 1 through 6. And then after that is H2O. And then 2018.
And then Resurrection.
Oh, Resurrection.
Rob Zombie. 2.
Yeah, I wasn't doing those yet. But okay. 2008. So that's 10. 2018.
Kills
and ends.
So yeah, 13.
So 13.
So that's a lot of movies.
Yes, it is.
Other franchises that I really like Scream, only have 6 movies.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's kind of hard to compare.
Yeah.
Because it has so many. And the fact that I know so much about
every
13 movies,
yeah,
it's gonna get a high rating.
Yeah.
So you're
gonna rate Halloween a high rating?
It's not. I'm gonna say it's not the highest rated franchise.
Okay.
That if I had to rate franchises,
all franchises,
no.
We need to do like a franchise list.
Yeah.
And stuff. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say this is a 91.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would put Scream above this.
Yes.
Evil Dead, potentially. There's not as many movies, so that might be harder. But I feel like those are all good. Halloween has some shaky ones. So Nightmare on Elm Street also has some shaky ones. I would probably put that under Halloween.
Yeah.
But yeah, so.
Okay.
If I had to separate Rob Zombie, I would rate that like an 80.
I mean, it's only 2 movies, and one of them was good, one of them.
Yeah.
Okay. All together, they don't go together is my biggest issue. They all are doing different things, and that is just so dumb. Like, stick to a storyline. Like, I would say that the first Rob Zombie one, the 2018, and 4 and 5 are probably my favorite.
Okay. Not the original?
Oh, and the original. Yeah. Yeah. The other ones, whatever. I'm done with you. Maybe H2O. No, I don't. No, I don't need it. But okay. So as a franchise, it is probably one of my more liked franchises, though. I think it's grown on me. I think it's, it has to grow on me. But I would still have like Scream definitely ahead of it, Insidious, Paranormal Activity, Saw even I would have ahead of it.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking of Saw. Yeah.
And so for that, I'm gonna do 86.
Okay.
Right above mid 80s.
Okay.
So, because I want to have enough room for all of those that I know I want to be before.
Yeah.
And I don't know about, I even really like Chucky.
Yeah. Chucky would probably be pretty low.
Yeah.
For me.
I figure. Yeah. But I really enjoy the Chucky movies.
Yeah.
And so I want to make sure to have room for all of them.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to say, oh yeah,
that's
of course.
Franchise at this point.
Yeah. Yeah. And especially since it's going to keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say 85, but I thought I don't want it to be just mid 80s, so I'll do 86.
Okay.
In honor of you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I didn't do 87 in honor of you, but.
All right.
So,
well,
there we go. Rob Zombie does help it move up.
Okay.
That's probably what made it 86 instead of the 85. There we go.
Well, there you go. Classic horror series. We are going to be getting a TV series.
Yes.
For Halloween.
How are you feeling about that?
I don't know how they can do Halloween in a TV series.
Well, mean, who knows what the storyline's going to be?
I don't
as
know.
long as Michael's in it.
Yeah. What's going to be important for me is Michael done right? Does he have a good mask? Do they show his face? Can you see his eyes?
Is he strong?
Is he big? Is he intimidating? If we can get all of that, and if they keep him in the shadows, if he has the stalking, and
and the fall ambiance Halloween night feel.
Needs to feel like Halloween.
Yeah.
If we can get all of that, then and like good kills and stuff, then I don't necessarily care too much about the other stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, a good final girl would be good.
Yeah, as long as it's not Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah, it's not gonna be her. But I'm kind of open to whatever, as long as we don't have a Corey character or, someone trying to take the spotlight away from Michael as far as the, antagonist. But yeah,
I wouldn't.
I don't know how we can get a series out of it.
Adding, like Halloween 3 in there, where it's all Michael masks that people are wanting to get, and then they go wrong.
That'd be a lot of horror fans would be in trouble. So yeah, we'll see. That's probably at least a year or two away. I don't think they've done any sort of writing or anything on it yet. So
okay.
Yeah. But
yeah, right.
So that'll probably be the next thing that we see out of the Halloween world.
Do we know who the writers are on it?
I don't think so. We just know that the rights were bought by I can't remember.
I have someone that I would like to be a writer on it.
Who?
Dave McRae.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
He would be perfect.
Yeah. I told him when
ideas.
I told him when we interviewed him.
Yeah.
Like that he could have done so much better than
what we got.
I was so excited for a new, not trilogy. What is it called? When it's the 3 movies.
Yeah, trilogy.
Yeah. Oh, I was so excited for that because we had listened to his prediction or just ideas.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, I wonder if they listened to it, if they got ideas from him. And I was so excited, and it was such a bummer.
Didn't happen.
I'm like, they definitely did not listen.
No. But that'd be amazing.
Yeah, that would be so cool. So
we'll see what that looks like.
Dave, connect.
I like having movies for Halloween. There's never been a series. We'll see.
Yeah.
We're trying to stretch out like a Halloween kind of thing for hours and hours.
Well, and it's fun to have a Halloween movie for Halloween.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
We don't need a series.
Yeah.
It's one night. But they're doing that with a lot of them. They did a Scream one.
Yeah, Friday the 13th is getting one.
Oh yeah,
it's coming out next
Chucky
year
already.
Chucky, yep, that's true.
So
we have been getting these.
The new, 90s have been coming back.
Yeah.
And so they start all the 90s sitcoms made new, spin-offs and whatever.
Yeah. With all the streaming that all the different streaming companies and stuff.
Yeah.
There's just so much room for like these.
Yeah. So now that they've
characters.
Redone almost every 90s movie there was to redo, including creating all the live action movies that they can, then now they're like, okay, now let's make TV series of all the classics.
Mm-hmm.
So here we go. Strap in.
We will be covering that, all the news. So you'll want to follow us on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and all those places. If we see any updates, we will let you know. Like and subscribe to our channel if you enjoy our content. And go find us on Patreon. Patreon.com/ScareTalk is where you can get exclusive episodes and spoilers to all of our episodes from this year on forward. You can join on Patreon for $1 a month, as little as $1 a month.
Yeah, that's pretty great.
Yeah, so go look at all the options there. You get 7 days free as well. So if you want to just try it out, you can do that.
Yeah.
All right, that's it.
This has been ScareTalk. Oh, sleep tight. You should have said that.
Don't let Michael Myers